Calgary Flames home to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the newest member of the Calgary Flames meeting with the media this morning at the Saddledome. Ryan Leslie hosts Flames broadcasts on Sportsnet Flames, and he joins us today on Game Day. I really appreciate it, Ryan, because I know how busy it is. So has Tyler Toffoli spoken yet? And, what's the reaction to the newest Calgary Flame?
Yeah, Roddy, he just wrapped up his availability with Calgary media here, so that's a good thing. We heard from Trevor Lewis this morning, and certainly Daryl Sutter. Yesterday, we heard from the general manager, Brad Treliving, and Milan Lucic. I guess there's a real buzz. There's a buzz in the city. I'm sure you can feel it. There's a buzz in that locker room right now. They're getting a really good piece that is seemingly a natural fit, Rod, and that is a guy who won a Stanley Cup in 2014 under Darryl, a guy who played for Kirk Muller last year in Montreal, a guy who, has played with a number of Flames, friends with Milan Lucic. In fact, Milan and his wife Brittany picked him up at the airport last night. He stayed with the Lucic family, had a big fat steak, and then went to bed. And now he was on the ice this morning on the right side of Sean Monahan and, Dylan Dubé. So we'll get a glimpse. Darryl was fairly coy today, but we likely will get a glimpse of him on that line tonight and making his Flames debut wearing number 73. And I think most people in the city are pretty darn excited to get a player of that caliber, given the return, and a player who, won't disrupt anything, just seemingly add to it on a team that's won 6 straight. So pretty positive right now.
Well, this, I feel it. This city's going off. Now, it's somewhat new to me. It shouldn't be, but I want to ask you this, because I'm getting from our viewers that are Flames fans, what kind of guy is Tyler Toffoli? How is he going to fit in with this locker room? They want to know, is he a character guy? I would think Daryl Sutter wouldn't have acquired him if he wasn't, but what was the sense that you got from him meeting with him today?
Yeah, I had a brief chat with him after his availability, and, knowing a bunch of these guys the way I do, they have been raving about him. Milan was, he was the first guy he met when Luch went down to L.A. before he became a King, and they spend every All-Star game, every All-Star game together. So, character, talking to Kirk Muller about it, and I know, Wayne Gretzky got a chance to know him in that L.A. era when Toffoli was there, and spoke glowingly about him to Kirk Muller as well. And Kirk and I had a chat about that yesterday, and so all reports are real positive. I know he was beloved in Montreal by his teammates. They were sad to see him go. And again, a seamless fit at this point. It just made a lot of sense. And, I'm not sure Brad Treliving's done at this point by a long shot. I know he's still kicking a lot of tires. And this was one that made a lot of sense with term and with the return.
So if he's on the right side of Dubé and Monahan, does that constitute the Flames' second line then?
No, that's a third line.
Wow. So talk about that then. That significant depth for a third line right winger then, and he's got a hell of a resume for a guy playing in your bottom 6 forwards, I would suggest.
Yeah, he's got a great resume, and he scored some big goals, some timely goals. It was Lewis who was reminiscing today about, him assisting Martinez on the game winner back with the Kings. Yeah, you talk about the depth. I mean, second line, when you look at Mangiapane and Blake Coleman and Michael Backlund, who centers that trio, that's your second line. They've been scoring a lot lately. The top line's been buzzing, as everybody knows. The goaltending's been pretty solid, and that defense has been kicking in the offense like crazy of late. So right now, it's like all systems go, and we'll see what that. No pressure, Tyler. You just got here, but could you get Toffoli, or rather, could you get Dubé and Monahan going? So if that becomes a line that can score, look out. You might have something there.
It's interesting. Rick Natras was with us last hour, Ryan, and I asked him what he thinks the Flames might need, and he said, as a defenseman who's won a Stanley Cup, because you can't have enough depth on the blue line. So could the Flames add there? Because I've told you, I think this team's pretty good even before Toffoli. We've seen them play at their best. They're a good team. And Treliving, as you said, they're done. But yeah, what do you think they might do or could do?
Well, I know that, there's a bunch of teams interested in Ben Sherratt, and why not? I know the coach him here. He's a solid, heavy player right now, and concussion, and I don't get the sense that it's going to be an ongoing issue, but I do get the sense that right now it's something that teams are, with their medical staff talking to and talking about. So, yeah, that's a player that I think a lot of teams covet, and I understand why. That's a good hockey player over there, and we'll see if that gets revisited either or other teams jump in there now. Like, as Calgary set the market, they certainly jumped the line. So we'll see if other teams want to follow suit and kind of get their work done. The team, or rather, let a player fit in for more games than just however many, whatever it is, after the deadline. So I think that's why this Toffoli move is so intriguing to so many. They've got some time with them, and they've got some term with them. Now, you'd love to add some experience on that blue line, as you mentioned, and certainly Sherratt just went to the Stanley Cup final, so he's got some.
Well, you actually bring up a good point there with the Sherratt thing. What do the Flames have left to deal? Because Natras kind of intimated that they might have given up too much for one guy. Like, what's left in the cupboards here to move, aside from maybe picks? But two went already in the Toffoli deal.
Yeah, no, I would respectfully disagree that you gave up too much of this type of player. I think this is also has a real message that, hey, don't forget, Rod, as we know, you've got a couple of players that you've got to deal with contractually here, superstar players in this lineup. This sort of says, hey, this guy Toffoli's around for a little while longer too, and who knows what Brad can do. Now, making money work going forward is the big thing, but I don't think in terms of picks and that kind of thing. And don't forget, you've got some players that you could potentially use if you needed to upgrade your team. I mean, remember, Brad didn't touch anything really on his roster in that move for Toffoli. So you've got some things that you could probably move around here if you had to get creative, if something sort of really caught your eye. So, yeah, I think that he's still got plenty of moves ahead of him in terms of options, I should say. Plenty of things that he can do if he wants to do it. Going forward, it'll be really interesting to see about the money, but Brad's been very diligent in that department. So you got to realize your window is now, and you have to say to your team, and I loved his quote yesterday, look, the players have done their jobs. It was time that I did mine. And that just gave this group a real charm. Remember, they'd won 6 straight, and all of a sudden now you're bringing in this guy. So you got back-to-back starting with the night, and you've got a crazy home schedule, and this guy's going to get a look. I should point out Dan Vladar is going to get the start tonight between the pipes for Calgary. That is his first start at home, if you can imagine. So we haven't seen a lot of Vladar save for that third period in Dallas, where he actually got the win, and they went right back to Markstrom. Markstrom's going to play the bulk of this month, if not all but this game. But yeah, that's probably the big news and noteworthy between Toffoli and Vladar.
Okay, awesome. And let me just say this. Are you excited to go to the rink? Because, listen, you've been with this team through its struggles. You've been doing this a long time. And I know the players are fired up. They're like, management's in this for us. We're in it to win it. Everybody gets fired up in this scenario. Are you excited to get to the Saddledome tonight for this game against Columbus?
Well, sure. I think anytime you have something new to talk about, it's great. Anytime you have some positivity, it's great. And certainly winning makes, 6 straight wins, winning makes your job easier. Everybody's walking around a little loose, a little lighter, a little fear. You're getting better quotes, you're better stories. You're having better broadcasts. That's what I care about, having better broadcasts and having better content. And certainly when the team that you cover is winning, it does make life a little easier and more eyes, more viewers. So it's a whole trickle down. And then you add a key player and you add a little juice in the building, food and beverages served. We're looking down the barrel of going to full capacity in time here. So can't we all use this kind of positivity right now, given the last couple of years? But certainly it's fun to go to the rink, yeah.
Well, I appreciate the time. I know you're busy. It's game day. I'll see you there tonight. Ryan, thanks for this, brother. Appreciate it.
Roddy's in the house. I love it. Welcome back to town, man.
Pro Calgary set here. What do you think?
I can't see it the way my setup is. I got 2 frames of me, but you always look good no matter what. I honestly can't even see you right now, but you're as gorgeous as ever.
How about
You're
that?
such a pro. Thanks, Ryan.
How about that?
See you tonight. How about that?
Good.
It's like the keg. See you tonight. Ryan Leslie, Sportsnet Flames, joining us from his spacious home office. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of The Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.